The Violence Reduction Partnership is a group of partners that come together to focus on a very specific issue, which is serious violence in Sussex. And they were formed back in 2019, July. They came out of a government initiative, the Serious Violence Strategy, which was looking at levels of serious violence, particularly knife injuries, public place violence particularly, and also very focused on young people under the age of 25. Sussex, you think of it being very leafy and green, but actually it's a vast area. We've got 3 big local authorities, we've got lots of different borough and district councils, but we've got lots of different conurbations. You cannot look at Sussex as one whole area. It's very different. It has very rural areas, but it also has lots of towns and cities where you have variances in crime rates as a result of that.
In the Violence Reduction Unit in West Sussex, we're looking to see how we can reduce serious violence among young people. The work is really trying to pull together all of the key strategic partners to work towards that and see how we can look to develop the intelligence that we need to understand what that looks like in different parts of West Sussex and to understand really clearly where that intelligence leads us in telling us what interventions we need to develop and how we can do that collaboratively.
You can't arrest your way out of a social problem like youth violence. It needs far more insights, it needs far more agencies, and it needs far more resources, both long, medium and short term. And I think that is the essence of why partnership is important. It brings more heads to bear on the problem. It offers more opportunities.
The strength of the work that we do comes from the range of partners that we work with. So in Sussex we work with specifically our local authorities, our upper tier authorities, but also our district and borough councils. But we have a whole range of other partners and teams within those local authorities that help us to work on some of those early signs of vulnerability that those young people have.
So the partners include Sussex Police, health partners, some of our delivery partners, children's social care, education partners and the National Probation Service.
What we do in Sussex is we're classed as a hub and spoke violence reduction unit. We devolved that model out, so we use our top tier local authorities, East Sussex, West Sussex and Brighton and Hove. So what that does is it gives us a bit of freedom and it gives those areas freedom to develop the activities that they think best suit the needs and the evidence base in terms of their levels of serious violence.
So the schools programme with the exclusions programme is really important to us. We have a specific challenge around exclusions in some of our schools around the county. We know that that's also linked as well to some of our hotspot areas in the county where the problem profile has identified some of those hotspots. The pilot programme that we're working on, so 4 schools in Worthing and 1 in Littlehampton. We're hoping that we'll see some real benefit and change, and our interim evaluation is potentially leading us to think that it's delivering good outcomes.
So SID Youth offers lots of different programmes throughout Worthing and Ada. We deliver mentoring programmes within schools workshops, youth employability work for 18 to 24-year-olds, and have previously done some detached work out in the local parks and open spaces.
I think we were chosen as a school to be involved in this project as a result of our relationship with the local authority and the VRP. We, as a school, have a very strong ethos of inclusion, and we've been moving towards an approach around therapeutic approaches to behaviour management, and so I think the authority were interested to have our voice involved in the project as somebody who was already working towards an approach which was reducing exclusions.
Represent is part of a much bigger project across Sussex and actually nationwide to take a more public health approach to working with young men and celebrate their incredible talents.
It was a given that people on probation, that they've been through a few things, and hip-hop especially is about unheard voices. And from there, then the conversations happen.
So in East Sussex, we are absolutely committed to working in partnership with parents to safeguard children who are at risk of exploitation. Parents know their children best and are best placed to support their children and keep them safe. But in order to do so, they often need support themselves and absolutely need to be empowered through information. So we are keen to work in meaningful partnerships with parents to help them to help us keep their children safe.
I think communities don't have the tools sometimes to deal with some of these issues, including serious violence. And I think that's what the partnership's there to do. It's not just there to build knowledge and experience within professionals, but it's also there to build that within individuals and communities so that they can help themselves. You see the strength of that through that parents scheme in East Sussex. It's them taking control of the situation, feeling like they can do something about it instead of watching their young person slip away from them because they're involved in criminality or exploitation.
The relationship with policing, not that it's changed, but it's developed and grown, and there's a lot of collaboration. And I think one of the things that's been really clear is that we share a really similar narrative about what works for young people and about challenging that narrative that people often have of young people, a negative narrative.
What I would like to do for the whole exploitation portfolio is know that from the policing perspective, when the officers are going out, they're thinking about exploitation. We're not just dealing with what's in front of us, we're digging that bit deeper. We're being professionally curious. We're putting the voice and the needs of the child at the centre of the decisions that we're making. I would really like to think that partners all work together collaboratively to look at what are the issues that's caused children and young people to be involved in serious violence, and that we've done something about it. And we can look back and the children and young people who at 30 years old are not involved in serious violence. We've made the difference.
Where we are working with young people, we are definitely seeing a difference. And we're seeing a difference in our communities and our parents as well, where we are empowering them to become part of that solution. It's early days. We're only in year 3 of violence reduction units. So we've made great progress. And I see that. I speak to professionals and colleagues all the time who see great changes as a result of the work that we're doing. They feel that they have a better relationship with the police, that the enforcement side of things is now a lot more synergised with the longer term approach, and those people are working more closely together. So I think I can see real benefits, but it's hard to quantify that in terms of numbers. What I would say is soft outcomes, absolutely, we're seeing a difference, and we will continue to work on that to ensure that those young people are seeing the benefits over longer term.